Hey guys, John Dallas here. Just wanted to show off progress with an AI content generator that I've made in low code on coda.io. The date today is the 25th of April 2025. Like everything in AI, it's all moving so fast. So rather than wait until it's properly finished, I just want to give you kind of a progress report and I'll keep on updating as things go along. Okay, so I run an events management company called Real Talk Philosophy. So let's pretend like Real Talk is going to be opening up events again next month online, and I want to make a post showing that, and I want to make a post about this. Okay, well, I could certainly go into ChatGPT, and I could just write me a social media post announcing online events starting again um, in May 2025 for Real Talk Philosophy. Okay, so I can type that in to ChatGPT and it'll do a pretty fine job, I guess. Real Talk Philosophy is back in May 2025. Join us online for bold conversations, big questions, and real connections. Weekly events will kick off soon. Stay tuned for topics, dates, and links. Let's get thinking. Okay, so obviously, I think that ChatGPT doesn't really know what Real Talk Philosophy um, is. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it might know something. I don't really know. But okay, so here's our website. I could copy the website and I could go into ChatGPT and I could, let me write a new one here, write me a social media post announcing new events, online events coming in May 2025. And then I can just paste in all that information from our website. This is gonna do a better job, basically, right? So here we go. New online events in May. Real Talk Philosophy is back with fresh online events, diving into today's most urgent questions. Okay, cool. So that's pretty good. There are a few things that are really missing from this, though. So number one, every time that I make a post about Real Talk Philosophy, I'm gonna have to copy and paste in information about Real Talk Philosophy. That's just really annoying. Number two, this is not my writing style. This is not my brand voice. So if I have like a brand voice guide, I would have to also copy and paste that into ChatGPT each time that I do this. There are ways around this. There are ways around this built into ChatGPT, but essentially I'd have to. Okay, another thing is uh, I would like to be able to actually like quality control this to see is it SEO optimized, let's say. Is there anything in here about EEAT details that Google really cares about for rankings? And like, is there a call to action? Does it follow my brand voice? I can give it all of my brand voice documentation. That doesn't mean that it's going to follow it, and I would like to know. And I don't want to have to go through the checklist to see whether or not it followed my brand voice here. Another problem is that a post on Facebook is going to be different than a post on Twitter, is going to be different than a post on X, even if they're all kind of similar. They all have the same core message, but the actual text to each post is going to be slightly different. So those are the problems that I'm trying to solve with this here. Okay, so let's move aside. I'm going to come in here. Here's the dashboard. I'm going to go to projects, and I'm just going to add a new project here, and I'm going to call this Real Talk Philosophy. Okay, there we go. Real Talk Philosophy. Cool. Okay, I can add a summary here if I want to, but I'm actually going to skip that for now. This summary would basically influence everything that I do in the future here. So I'm going to go to core messages. I'm going to add a core message, and this is announcing events, announcing online events in May 2025. Okay, cool. Now, an important thing here. If we want there to be any kind of background context that we can add into this project, we can do that here in the context library. So I'm just going to click on Add Context. I'm going to say Real Talk Homepage. Let me copy the Real Talk homepage. I'm going to paste that into the text. Now, I don't need to clean this up at all. I can say just where it is. The source, Real Talk Philosophy. code.org. Now I'm going to click on this button here. This is going to generate a summary of this whole, it's going to generate a summary of all this text. And it's also going to give us some tags. Now, the summary is actually, I don't want to get too technical here. The summary is not what's added to the prompt. This is just to help with RAG, R-E-G, to help the AI decide which pieces of context are useful for this particular post or this thing that we're generating, right? Okay. Now, in addition to this, we also have these writing guidelines here. So we can add an individual writing guideline with something like our brand voice, that there are also many default writing guidelines we can choose. And there are some that are active and some that are inactive by default. You can change these around, figure out your own brand voice, see how they affect the final product. I'll leave these as they are right now, but already you can see that these are added to the prompt to generate the post, and you can see that this prompt is going to be very, very long, much longer than what we had before. Okay, so we have this core message announcing online events in May 2025. The first thing I'm going to do is click on Determine Relevant Context. That's going to check our context library and see if for this particular post, and if I added any notes about it here, which pieces of the content library should we include? So it's saying, yes, include this Real Talk homepage, and there's the text. Okay, but the thing is, as we found before, this text includes a lot of details that are not relevant to a post on announcing online events in May 2025. So I click on this button, and that's going to determine the details from that relevant context that are relevant to this particular post. Not only is it going to extract all the details, it first responds in Markdown. We then convert that Markdown into rich text here, as you can see. Yeah, so it pulls all that information out. That's awesome. We have different platforms that we can add posts to. I'll just add X on, and then I'll click on this Add Posts button, and then immediately we get 4 new posts: Facebook, Instagram, X, and LinkedIn. We have these 4 different posts because every post has to follow slightly different writing guidelines. On X, the post has to be broken up into 140 or 280 character chunks. On Instagram, the caption is going to be quite short because it's really just about the image. LinkedIn is going to maybe be a bit more business focused, So we have these 4 different posts, these variations of this core message, and we can see the status of each one, Q, 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 and then here it says checking accuracy. Okay, that's pretty cool. Let me click on this to open this up now. One thing that I didn't talk about before are these tone controls. So this is a way to really hone in on your brand voice. So in addition to the writing guidelines, these are set. You can set your defaults for particular platforms, particular kinds of content, particular projects that you're working on. I'm going to leave these as they are right now, but yeah, it's very cool. Those are added into the prompt as well. So let's see. Exciting May events at Real Talk Philosophy. Join our interactive online community as we tackle some of today's most thought-provoking topics: artificial intelligence, climate justice, digital privacy. Okay, cool. Since 2017, we've hosted 200 events. Okay, cool. So now it knows a lot more about who Real Talk Philosophy is because we added that information into our context library. We see the word count, we see the character count. We can copy this this to our clipboard. A lot of it's generally said that if you can get a first comment on there quickly, then that's really going to increase the traction of this post. So it makes recommendations about what the first comment can be. It gives you poll options if you want to add a poll onto this post, and then it also checks how well the post that was generated adheres to your writing guidelines. AI can be given all these writing guidelines, and it does an okay job of following them, but it's not perfect. So this is a way for you to check to make sure that the writing guidelines were actually followed. So here we see that there are some writing guidelines. It says the writing guideline says that we need to include citations for all metrics and research, but there are some that don't include metrics. Well, that's fine, actually. It's fine. You're a human. You're in the driver's seat. You can choose whether or not you want to make a change based on this writing guidelines check, but it's told to err on the side of false positives. yeah, to kind of give you the choice. So I'll just delete this one here. Don't even have to delete it, can just leave it as it is. Yeah, and it starts with the highest priority guidelines first, goes through. Okay, cool. It gives us a little question mark here because it's really not sure whether or not this guideline was broken, and it gives us an X if the guideline was, if it's pretty sure that the guideline was broken, at least if it's broken as the guideline is written. It also does an accuracy check, so it takes each one of the truth claims, the metrics that are in the post that was generated, and it just checks them against the context that was given to it and against its own general knowledge. You can favorite a post. You can duplicate a post to kind of just like start over. You can regenerate the whole thing. And then we can also approve a post. So let me go back to the post that we're already working on. I can approve this post. And then when I approve this post, it's actually automatically added to my calendar over here. So this is scheduled now for tomorrow, announcing online events. Okay, pretty cool. So that's where I'm at with this whole thing right now. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you very much. Bye.